Should be recording. All right, we're on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with the one and only, the legend himself, Rugged Ronnie Garvin. So we're live on YouTube here, and I'm also pre-recording this on Skype. So later on, I'm gonna upload the Skype version, which you'll be able to see myself and the legend himself, Rugged Ronnie Garvin. But right now, you guys will be seeing me live, and you'll be hearing the legend himself, Rugged Ronnie Garvin, and his thoughts on this weekend as far as the theater, the theatrics, the how could we call it? Well, first of all, how you doing this morning, Ron? How's everything?
Oh, I'm doing great. Can't complain. Thank the good Lord every day.
There you go.
Never fail.
There you go. There you go. So this morning, well, this weekend, we had two events that happened. We had the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul event, the fight, and we also had the John Jones for UFC 309. So we're gonna get started with Mike Tyson and Jake Paul first. Now, with the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, first of all, I want to start with the streaming situation. I don't know if you had a chance to see the whole event, but I noticed it was crashing a lot. It kept on freezing. You had to reload. It kept on crashing. So I wanted to know your opinion on that. The reason I'm asking you is because the WWE is also going to Netflix now, and they're going to be streaming live, I believe, this month. So do you think that's something that they're going to be able to correct real soon, or we're also going to witness that because we had a lot of people. How many people viewed the Jake Paul fight?
They claim it's either 200 million or 250 million
Two. So
across the world.
okay.
That can overwhelm the system.
So
You know,
now with that being said, as far as with just that boxing event, now what do you think? Do you think WWE is going to pull that same amount of numbers for the first time having Raw on Netflix, or maybe even more?
well, yeah, it could be if it's around the world. There's a lot of population
Right,
to,
right,
to
right. Well, also too, because they was having kinks. The reason I was asking, I wonder if they're gonna have time to actually fix those issues because there was a lot of complaints as far as with the freezing, the uploading, the re-uploading, and stuff like that. So okay, so let's get to the fight. So I don't know if you had a chance to see Mike Tyson train and everything. Mike Tyson was really aggressive, and I know they say punching bags don't hit back, and I've done a little boxing in my days as well. Punching bags don't hit back, pads don't hit back. But the thing that I noticed during his training, he was very aggressive, and he showed a lot of speed in his training as far as being his age. And also, it was just 4 years ago that he fought Roy Jones, just 4 years ago, and he didn't look that bad for his age. So I wondered what was your thoughts as far as his performance, as far as during that fight with Jake Paul versus from what you seen him do during the training. What was your thought?
well, if you watch somebody training and they only train like say for an hour,
Mm-hmm.
or 30 minutes or some, there's nobody fighting back.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you can look aggressive and you can look in shape, but when you step in the ring and you go the distance for for the whole match, I didn't see. I only saw the at the very end,
Right.
and I think he looked tired. And I think Jake Paul probably carried him the last part of it. You know, that's what I think.
Right.
You know, I mean, 58 years old, and Jake Paul is much younger. You know, uh, and well, the reputation that he has, I'm talking about Tyson. That's what drew the crowd. That's what drew the customers to watch.
Right.
But it was not that bad of a performance. But I think Jake Paul was easy on him at the end.
Right. Right.
That's what I think. I might be wrong, but
apparently apparently after the weigh-in that they had, there was a contract that was floating around. They was talking about, and I'm roughly paraphrasing, how Jake Paul was going to win by decision at the end of the it was going to go the distance, and at the end he was going to win by decision. Mike
yeah,
Tyson was going to look good the first round, And I can't help but to say that according to that contract, it actually went exactly the way it that we seen live as far as with that. Do you feel like, and I know in professional wrestling, we don't use the word fake. We know better than that. That is predetermined and it's scripted to a certain extent. Do you feel like in boxing there's a strong possibility that that could have happened, or that it does happen in
Oh yeah,
boxing?
well, yeah. When you got that kind of money and all that, but like you said at the beginning, he was very strong, but that didn't last the whole entire fight.
Right.
You know, and so because you got to be in great shape to keep that up for the whole. And that's 58 years old. Even if you want to do it, you're gonna be slowing down halfway through the fight or earlier than that. Because I watched Ric Flair when he had his last match, and he was hanging on the ropes, and it looked so bad that it was pitiful. After the guy's career and everything, but Tyson did better than he didn't look like that, but you could tell.
Right.
I think you could tell he was being carried. Because I think Paul could have knocked him out.
Right.
I think so.
Oh,
You
wow.
know,
Wow.
I'm not an expert in boxing, but but anything's possible. Is between two men. You know, who knows?
Yeah, yeah. Another thing I did notice, when Tyson was walking towards the ring, it really had that professional wrestling theatrics. Tyson in boxing, normally if you're injured, like if you have a leg injury, they tell you you're not supposed to, like in my times when I used to do the boxing, if you have a knee injury, you're not supposed to wrap up that knee because you're showing your opponent
Uh,
that you have a
they'll go
weakness.
after him.
Exactly, exactly. If you have a bad left leg, they're gonna play towards your left, making it hard for you to set up a punch and stuff like that, set up your combination. So I found that very odd that Mike Tyson, being the veteran that he is, he came with his it looked like a bandage, not bandage knee, but one of those black
Embrace.
knee braces. Yes, correct. Knee braces.
Yeah.
And he actually tripped. He tripped on his way to the ring just to add more of the theatrics to me. I'm just calling it out. That's what I thought. So that way it gives a way out that, oh, he had a bad leg and stuff like that. And that's what fans are actually noticing. They say he had a bad leg, da da da, this and that. And and I also noticed in the first round that a couple of, like, when Mike Tyson does a particular punch combination that he throws to the body and to the head, he lunged at Jake Paul, and it looked like the Mike Tyson of old. And when he lunged at Jake Paul, I believe it was with the left, it was like he froze. Mike Tyson remembered, like, oh, I forgot. If I finish him off quick in this first round, I'm not going to get paid that 20 million. Jake Paul got paid 40 million for that fight, and Mike Tyson got paid 20 million. So I got to ask you, do you put legacy first, or do you put that $20 million first? What would you do in that situation?
I take the biggest part. The hell with the legacy.
Oh man, that's it.
I'm not a guy for legacy. I go places. People say you're a legend. Well, that's okay. I mean, I'll take, but I don't consider that. You know, uh, that I am. Uh, that's my personal thought. And legacy to people is, they want to go down in history, and you know, we're all different. There's nothing wrong with that, but I sure think that's the second part of it.
Eh,
That 40 million.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I gotta ask: can you feed your bills with legacy? Can you take care of your bills? Can you?
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, so moving forward, as far as with the UFC now, it was UFC 309 that happened Saturday. The Jake Paul and Tyson fight was Friday. Now the UFC, it featured John Jones. Now John Jones, legend himself, he made a return to the ring. And in actuality, I want to read some of the stuff that they said as far as with dealing with the fight. It said that the goat is still the king. John Jones retained the heavyweight title on Saturday night at Madison Square Garden in New York in a thrilling fashion against former title holder Stipe and I'm sorry if I'm butchering the last name, Stipe Miosic. Miosic. Jones put Miosic away with a vicious spinning back kick to the ribs that sent Miosic straight to the canvas and unable to continue. It was beautiful finish for the most decorated champion in the sport's history and a bit of vindication after many were left disappointed in how quickly Jones' dispatch of of surreal gain last year that claimed his title to how he won that title. So the fans was disappointed on how Jones won that title in a, I guess you could call it in a Mike Tyson like fashion, because remember Mike Tyson in his prime, he used to finish you at the in the first round. You couldn't even blink of an eye. So John Jones pretty much finished him real quick. So the fans was disappointed the last time he fought, but this time around they was very happy. So I bring this to your attention because during the interview they interviewed John Jones, and they asked him his opinion. Well, first, before I go there, they did bring up the fact of the Mike Tyson. They asked him his opinion about Mike Tyson. He mentioned that Mike Tyson was pretty old looking and stuff like that. He didn't feel like, it wasn't the Mike Tyson of back in the days, and he felt like Jake Paul. They said that Jake Paul carried him at the end. The same thing you said, but Jake Paul, John Jones did say that he didn't feel like Jake Paul carried him. That he was being very careful with Mike Tyson because Mike Tyson still had that one punch knockout, so he didn't want to go all in and directly on Mike Tyson. So I wanted to share that part with you. But Jones brought up that he developed a move called. He wanted to work on a move called the spinning, that spinning heel kick. And he brought up a saying that Bruce Lee said, "It's not about the man that's dangerous is not about the man that knows 1,000 or 2,000 moves. It's a man that practiced one move 1,000 or 2,000 times. That's the dangerous man."
He's absolutely right. He's right. Yeah.
So
You get it. You perfect it. You get it to where it's perfect.
right, right,
I believe in that.
yep.
Makes more sense than anything else.
So he perfected that spinning heel kick. He said he created that move because he wanted to create a move that could destroy any opponent, no matter who he faced. Now, the reason I'm bringing that up to your attention, what was as far as in professional wrestling, what was some of the easiest but powerful but how can I say, easiest but effective move that you've seen that no matter even to one's older age, they could actually still perform? What move would you say that is in professional wrestling?
Well, let's see. Well, it's pretty hard to say. Depending on the age. I know today I couldn't. There's no move I could do to be effective. First of all, your strength goes away as you get older. Your speed, all that. It's a combination of everything. And balance.
Mm-hmm.
The balance is important, and you got to. I remember I refereed. They called me about 6 years, 7 years ago, maybe 8 years ago, to referee a match,
Mm-hmm.
and I hadn't been in the ring, for quite a while,
Mm-hmm.
and I would lose my balance in the ring, you know, because there's a canvas there. Even stepping in the ring was sort of different, just like I had never wrestled, never been in the ring, you know. There's a lot of things that it's hard to say.
Mm-hmm.
But if you pray, how old is Jones? Jones is not that old.
Jones, I believe he's in his late 30s, I believe.
Oh, Lord, mercy. At that age, yeah, you can you can practice all. At 30, I was in my prime.
Right, right.
Most people are.
And
Yeah, he probably had it just right. The move that if you hit the guy in the right place, it's lights out,
yeah, yeah.
or you quit, or you hurt, or you know. Yeah, that spinning kick, that's an effective thing.
It's
Because I
actually
watch a little bit of that stuff, over time, and Yeah, you got some fighters that are don't get too close. They can put that spin on you, and you'll be out in a second.
Mm-hmm. 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 I
Well, if he
remember.
practice it, and his opponent doesn't know that,
Right.
well, he's probably not looking for it.
Correct. Correct. I remember there was a particular wrestler. He was saying when you develop a move, you want to do a move that you can use in your younger age and also you can still use when you're older. And I think one of the moves was the claw, the actual claw. That one was a move that you was able to use when in your younger age or your
Yeah.
older age. I don't know about maybe the figure four. What's your thoughts about the figure four?
Figure four was if you practice the figure four, you can't come out of it. So it's one of the best moves that you probably can do in wrestling
Hmm.
because you can't. You can lock your leg and the guy can't get out.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Okay.
Figure four was a deadly hold. You were done. Yes, but you had to get the guy down and wore out to be able to apply it. You know, you didn't do it at the beginning of a match when the guy is fresh and he's still going. And
Right.
if you see the guys huffing and puffing and you wear him out and then you get him down because you got to do it pretty quick.
Hmm.
You know, you got to do the hold real quick. You can't be in a slow motion
Right. No. 100%. 100%.
because they see it coming.
Oh yeah.
You
Oh
know,
yeah.
holds you can counter. You can counter a hold if you know a hold is coming just by the way the guy is trying to set you up. You know, I had a hold that I like. I call it the what do I call it? Uh, Jeez, I forgot now. I had a nickname for it. The sugar hole. Sugar hole.
Okay.
Yeah, that was sweet. Guy, put a guy out with that. But you got to set him up. He's got to be down. He's got to be on his side. And you got a guy even from college wrestling. He probably would. He'd be hard to get. You know, he'd be hard to get because you see the way you take the guy down.
Right.
There's a lot of moves like that, and you can block it.
Got
Yeah,
you.
Sugar Hope was, and if you guy had a small neck, it was not. The bigger the guy was, the more effective the hold is.
Got you.
It's like the leg. If you got big legs and you get in a figure four, that's going to hurt you more than if you got skinny legs. They're more limber.
Correct.
Some guys tall and everything, and their legs is not as big. Yeah, it depends on a lot of different.
Yeah.
There's so many holes, but the sugar hole, I learned that from Bob Roop. Remember
Okay.
Bob Roop? He was an Olympic guy.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow. So
I
he
used to
was a
work out
shooter.
with.
He was a shooter then.
I used to work out with him. I learned a lot.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh wow.
And the sugar hole, you can take that. Like say, for example, the guy that is now on trial. It's almost a sugar, but he got it from behind. It's a choke hold. The sugar hole turns into be you cut the blood flow going to the brain.
Oh wow.
So you can kill somebody if you do it too long.
Wow.
But it's effective, and boom, it just immobilizes them.
Yikes.
Yeah, Bob Roop was an Olympic guy. He's a good wrestler.
Gotcha. 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 So also let me ask you, what are your thoughts as far as the sports crossing over? I know TKO owns professional wrestling and mixed martial arts, but when I mean crossing over, as far as literally doing business together, like you have the MMA world stepping into the boxing world and they putting on a big event, putting on a big show. Like, what do you think? Do you think the crossover should happen, should stay, or do you think both sides should stay on their respective side? MMA stay in the MMA world, boxing stay in the boxing world, professional wrestling stay in professional wrestling world. What are your thoughts?
I, I think they should stay in what the respective sport is. You know, I don't think they should cross over.
Right, right, right. You ha-
Well, it's not the same thing. There's a lot of different rules. You know,
correct. You have a lot of
everybody these days, everybody wants to change everything all the time. It's progressive shit. You know, I think it's bullshit. you know, progressive.
Yeah.
You know, everything has to change. You know, ever since I was a kid, it's not the same world I'm in.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
there's zillions of things have changed, and it keeps going and going, and not for the best sometimes.
I know.
Not for the best. I'm not for change if it's the best. Yes, I am for that. But you got to analyze what you do before you do it, because
Right.
sometimes it doesn't work out. You know,
It,
some people have great ideas, but you don't know. You got to study it. You got to think about, is that going to work good? Is that going to be better? Is that going to be a lot of questions?
mhm. 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 Yeah, which is true. Which is true. A lot of people wonder where all these new problems are coming from. Well, that's the key word.
Yeah,
You want to do
you
things
might
differently.
yeah, you might create something that's going to cause something else to you know the people are not going to like, or it's not going to work, or
Right. Well, well, the thing is definitely it's bringing in a lot of viewership. I found even little kids who didn't know about
that
yeah.
is bringing a lot of viewership because people are curious. It might be a good thing. I don't know. It
Right.
might be all right, but only in time you'll see. You know, if it's the right thing.
It
Yeah,
has
people want to see a whole lot of sports. And people are curious. They want to see which one is best, and eventually you settle on something you like better,
right.
or you get a choice. That might be good on that part. Might be good for business. I go about in life like Vince McMahon in wrestling. They all said, he's going to go bankrupt. He's going to die. He's going to be gone. But Lord of mercy, turned out he was a genius. They're making more money than people ever dreamed.
Which is true. Which is true.
You know,
You have a point. You definitely have a point there. Well, I mean, oh man. Hey, listen, it's been good. I'm glad that you was able to give your intake on this weekend's fiasco as far as with the Jake Paul, the Mike Tyson, and the John Jones. Stay
well,
put. Yep. Go
it's
ahead.
not a fiasco for them.
It's not. Oh, yeah. Listen, they laughing all the way to the bank. Every last one of them.
Right.
We invested our time, our emotions, our money, and they laughing into the bank, straight to the bank.
That's right.
There it is. Hey, hey. Oh man, listen. Hope you guys enjoyed this live. We're gonna cut off this live, but it's gonna continue here with Rugged Ronnie Garvin. And again, I will be uploading the interview as far as what you just heard with me, but you'll be able to see Rugged Ronnie Garvin once it's re-uploaded. But right now for the live, you're hearing the legend himself and you're seeing me. So, with that being said, everybody to the live, so long. Ron, don't go nowhere. I'll be right back. Let me end it
All
right
right.
here. Let's end it right here. Stop recording.